Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? My name is Charles Gross, and hey, George! George, I'm back! I remember the first time I came to Times Square. I was about the same age as that little girl over there in the white jacket. My parents took me to see the movie Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. And, well, we didn't have all these TV sets, but we had this neon. And I guarantee the neon-colored lights were just as amazing. But what really caught my eye was the sign of a giant spray can that actually worked. I mean, I don't remember what it was spraying, but it was spraying. And then, a couple of months later, my parents took me back to see Times Square for my first Broadway musical, Fiddler on the Roof. And the spray can was gone, but there was this cowboy, and he was smoking with real smoke. I mean, smoking was discouraged in my parents' house, but this was awesome. I fell in love with the musical theater. I was never a good student when I was a boy, but I got better. And I was never a good athlete, but I got better. But on those rare occasions when I set foot on a stage, I could hold my own and then some. I rifled through my parents' collection of Broadway cast albums. I acquired my own, and then, as a teenager in the 1970s, when this was a very gritty and dangerous place, I would make a monthly pilgrimage to Times Square in the hopes of scoring a $5 standing room ticket to see a Broadway musical. I got to see the original cast of Annie for $5. I saw a chorus line. That was a different musical. I saw Grease. Grease, but for $3, who cared? And between the time I bought my ticket and the time that the curtain went up, I could explore Times Square, and explore I did. I found Music Row on 48th Street between 6th and 7th Avenue. Sam Ash, Rudy's, Manny's, any type of an instrument that you could want, any type of musical accessory was there. There was Colony Music at the Brill Building. Remember that? It had the greatest selection of albums, posters, and sheet music at prices that only a tourist could pay. There used to be 3 Howard Johnsons right here, and the one I loved the most was literally right here across the street. And for 40 years, it was the only thing about Times Square that never changed until they knocked down that building and built this one. It had the same venue, the same seats, the same posters, the same cash register, which, when it worked, would not only count out your change, but it would distribute it. Times Square was a very dangerous place back then. It was beyond naughty and gaudy. It was dirty. There were drug dealers and 3-card Monte dealers on every block. Theaters were being knocked down. Nobody cared about Broadway, but I cared. And Times Square became my personal playground. Well, I went to college. I became a theater critic, so my monthly journeys to Times Square were now weekly or twice weekly. And then something amazing happened. People started to realize what I had realized, what I had found here when I first saw that smoking cowboy and that spray can. And instead of being knocked down, theaters were being built up. 42nd Street between 7th and 8th, which had been a desert of kung fu movies and porn, suddenly became an oasis of legitimate theater and attractions. But I couldn't help noticing that as the theater revived, everything else about Times Square that I loved was going away. I roll my eyes when people say, "Oh, I miss the old Times Square." And I'm thinking, what do you miss? Do you miss the dirt, the crime? Do you really miss strip clubs in an age of Pornhub? I'll tell you what I miss. Yes, I miss Music Row and the Howard Johnsons. And oh boy, do I miss $5 standing room tickets. But I miss, most of all, I miss the wonderment and the, I'm sorry, what is the intimacy, yes, the intimacy that I felt when I would come to Times Square and I thought that every theater, every restaurant, every attraction was here for me and me alone. And now, well, when we're not having a pandemic, I can walk this block, but it will take me at least 5 minutes. Everybody wants to go to the theater, and that's a good thing. And yet, thank you very much. My name is Charles Gross. My television programs, Critics Circle and Two on the Aisle, can be seen on YouTube. Charles Gross, thank you.